to see a din pa. Yeah, ya obi anim so ya ka da pen ba kuni ya pa owo bia ya onyanche enti yenua no mu masa omo hwe omo nkwa omo wu omo kọ ni omo kọ yenti omo wu ya ye di areho a ye bo mu din ye bo mo baso ni ade no ye ne den
I was here for break. In fact, mami mo bibi akaba na me from Bra Mega TV and platform we eso. Nina and say finally helicopter crash no. Say you the meaning to it. According to source no omuchi mu a enye bi wo ma na ye ready a stop here after so take omoka say ni movement or say o free baby or landi and say o take it over from the spot no a odi ni chirim e wo boase no enema bi wo ma na ye adwuma e breaki enti no the root cause of it the ekoba ya amasabe helicopter crash e see ye and as a helicopter e crash ye me yakọ ne akwakutie emu nchire mu full details na ba abontin mempese be kasa bebe yenkọ na yinti sansem no emu nchire mu na ekoba medina kai na ebeto aso e wo ye platform eso subscribe for the latest update
kindly.
Now, okay. What I'm saying is that we know for a fact that the actual time of departure, Alpha Tango Delta, was 0912 hours.
That's correct.
14 minutes into the flight, which many Ghanaians wouldn't know, the plane went off radar. But let me quickly state that when a plane is off radar, it does not mean that the plane has crashed. It simply means that based on its location and the surrounding terrain, and maybe weather, the radar covering the area cannot pick the location of the plane. That's all that it means. But 14 minutes into the flight, it went off radar. If the plane was expected to arrive at Obuasi after 15 minutes flight at about 10:02 hours, at 10:02 hours, the plane was not there. So per standard protocol, an alert was made. And I'm aware personally that the Ghana Air Force called Kumasi, and when I say Kumasi, I mean the Central Command, to say that there is a plane. Of course, the Central Command knew because some of the elements in Kumasi were already in Obuasi, where they also have an FOB. Have you seen the flight? That was 30 minutes later. Per protocol, after 1 hour, if the plane is still not found, I mean its location, then the distress call is made. That's the protocol. So every substantive action to find the plane technically started after 1100 hours. Now, what did Central Command do? The FOB at Obuasi was told that you are expecting the plane at Long Clay Stadium, Sports Stadium. So if the plane is not there, can you go to the Ashanti Gold Airfield and see whether the plane is there? That was the function the FOB played. Then 4BN was directed now to deploy a search team. Now remember, the soldiers are not sitting down in barracks, sleeping. So you need to find them, quickly mobilize them, find the transport, and then start moving from the location of Central Command 4BN Afari area there towards Sikamai. It's not 5 minutes distance. To cut it short, the team led by the commanding officer of 4BN got to the crash site at 1400 hours, 2 p.m. The regional minister got to the crash site at 1500 hours, 3 p.m. Now remember, from the start, I had estimated that the plane crashed about 0953, 0955. By 10 o'clock or 1000 hours, the plane had crashed. When it crashed, The farmer or farmers who were in the forest, plus some civilians in the village who had seen, as you had just shown, were moving to the area. So the locals had a lead time of 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock, which is 4 hours. It is not correct for anybody to say that the military did not get there and allow the civilians. The civilians were already there, or they were in the village, Sikamai, and were moving there. Nobody could have prevented that. It is out of curiosity, out of our indiscipline, out of lack of knowledge and so on, that when they got there, they started, removing critical exhibits from there. Now let me take another angle. Remember on another news file Saturday, I had said that a second helicopter should have been deployed, or a second aircraft. At the time, I didn't know. But Ghana Air Force has an Mi-17 Russian, bigger than the Z9. That was based in Tamale for Boko crisis duties. Oh. It was task ordered to move from Tamale to Kumasi, which it did. By the time it should have taken off for an aerial reconnaissance or aerial search and rescue, it was already clear in the media that the crash site had been found. So that plane did not stay there. At about the same time, General Headquarters or High Command ordered the CASA 125, which is a transport plane, to move from Accra to Kumasi. When it did, it moved with the preliminary investigation team. That was a plane that we saw back in Accra with the coffins. Anyway, when the 4BN team, went to Sikamai, they went with 2 ambulances. And there was another ambulance that came probably with the regional minister, who also came with the fire service and so on. I think the police came with another ambulance. So there were 3 ambulances. Those ambulances had body bags, at least the one from the military or whatever it is. So those were the ambulances that were used. And I want to explain that ambulances should not take dead bodies, but under certain circumstances, they can convey dead bodies. After that, the ambulances need to be sanitized, fumigated, and so on. So there was nothing wrong with that. They took the bodies to the Prempeh the First International Airport, Kumasi. It was there that the bodies were transferred from the sacks that we saw into body bags. Then the plane and put on the CASA 125, which took off. Now, all the preparations that we saw at Accra, coffins draped with Ghana flag, happened in flight. See, the coffins were not prepared on the ground. In fact, the coffins had been ordered at the instructions of the CDS from Accra, not from Kumasi. The picture one gets is that if you piece the timings together, circumstances did not prevent anybody from being at the crash site in 30 minutes, in 1 hour, in whatever. Per protocol, all actions substantive started at or from about 1100 hours. And then it took another, let's say, 3 hours for the troops to be there. Anybody will tell you, even the regional minister moving from Obuasi took about 2 hours. And then another 1 hour through the bush path to get to the site. In a way, the presence of the locals helped us to be able to identify the crash site. Let Ghanaians remember that at Atiwa, it took 3 good days before we knew where the crash site was. So the local community were a blessing. They played a positive role, including joining with the military or the recovery team to recover the bodies or body parts from the slope where the plane had, crashed. But on the other hand, they also played negative roles. Because the protocol is that no exhibit must be tampered with. They must lie where they are. Because the investigation team, during the forensic analysis, will be able to build a picture as to how the plane crashed and how its parts were strewn, including the bodies, were strewn here or there. Finally, let me say that in that general area, and I think we all saw the hills, in that Obuasi general area, the highest peak is 1,250. Accra is 200 feet above mean sea level. Obuasi is 1,250. The crash site or impact site is 725 feet above mean sea level. So this high ground, we know also that the accounts say a bo esi. And we know what the bo is. It's fog. So the plane was not flying in daylight. But what GMET had told us that July and August were going to be this or that misty, rain, storm, whatever it is. That was the kind of condition that it was flying through. We know now that there were two other helicopter flights moving in the southern part, which all emergency landed. One aborted, the other one continued. We know that even yesterday, a Volta River Authority helicopter, it happens to be also a Z9, but the original one based on the French Dauphin model. What crashed from the Ghana Air Force was the Chinese, if you like, Chinese model. So the conditions have not been very helpful. Naturally, I think any one of us who wants to speak must speak based on the context of what it is that the situation actually was. So if we are not very careful, for instance, it is good that the regional minister was there as head of the RegSec. But the regional minister and the RegSec are not the search and rescue team, and they are not investigation bodies. They don't take operational and tactical decisions. They take political decisions. So even if they are there, even if the CDS himself was a Sikaman, it was not in his place to be interfering with the work that the team leader, in this case, the commanding officer of 4BN, was doing with the search and rescue team. We need to understand that. There was no need to hurriedly remove the bodies and any part from the crash site. And under the circumstance for somebody to say that, let's use cocoa sacks. There was absolutely no need. The bodies should be there for the investigation team to come at minimum, peg their locations, do the photographs, and then recover the bodies. Lastly, Moro, it is not true that the bodies would have melted the the body bags or the cadaver, pouches and so. It's not true. It's not correct. They are heat resistant. You see, and let's recall that the crash happened at 1000 hours latest. Now we're saying that by 1400 hours, 1600 hours, and we know that the bodies were being made late in the evening, that the bodies were still smoldering and couldn't. If that was the case, and I maintain, because I'm also from the village.
All right, so that is it. Enti uti insemna urani ekana. Na say that is the cause of it. Na say we enenam soa ama sa helicopter e crash ye. And it is so sad. Say Ghana yemfa nima serious. Adi abehwere ye kra no yemfa ni serious. Yemfa ni serious. Debiano na agise bibia si awie. BBC a na de akɔhye by 4. BBC a na de akɔhye by 4. And it is so sad. Eya papa. Abusia Kwesi Pratt Junior any Nana Akomea omunso aklashi on omunye helicopter with omo aklashi on kukroko dwumadie so. In fact, yewra ɛyɛ Kwame Sifakan ne show no ɛsoɔ na yɛntie nsɛm a ɔmo editu edwa ɛfa helicopter crash ɛne nsɛm a ɔde abɛwie Ghana ama nipa nwɔtwe a ɛnɛ yɛwura Dr. Muniru ɛne Mutala Muhammad ɔmo apɛ ɔmo akyi korakora ana aka ɔmane boama ɛne the other ɛyɛ 4 sɛ 5 ɔmo aka no mempɛ sɛ mɛkasa no yɛntie nsɛm a yɛwura Kwesi Pratt Junior ɛne Nana Akomea ɛde to dwa Nyankopɔn kɔ so a ɛnhyira wo
wadwenkyerɛ ɛfa ne asi na watwe atwa mu ne nsɛm a abɛpiepie mu
Masa Kwabi.
bra Kwesi
Asɛm mpa na ndɛ ebuna de yɛbɛka obi nka bi da. Bɛka ne nyinaa. Me hia me titiri. Ɛne sɛ yi nyinaa yɛaka sɛ yɛnnua no mu nhwiri wɔ mo nkwa. Ɛsiane sɛ na ɔmo pɛ so ɔmo kutia galamsey.
yeah
Nso ɔmo ahwiri wɔ mo nkwa wie. Na sɛ galamsey no yɛntumi anko antu ase a yɛkeka ne nyinaa mfa so bi ani so.
na ɛsa nkosi hwee
Ankosi hwee. That's the main thing. Yɛbɛyɛ dan ne yɛtu galamsey ase. Ɛkwan bɛn ne yɛfa so yɛbɛtu galamsey ase. Because galamsey ɛsɛe bibiara. Masa ɛsɛe kokofoɔ, ɛsɛe car kwan. Western region hɔ baabi masa car kwan no yɛtu ase nyinaa. Wotia ne wie na wokɔfa so na ɛyɛ hɛn a wotimu ne mu du kakra ebebu kama kɔhyɛ mu. Nti galamsey no kwan bɛn ne yɛfa so de atu ase. Ɛno ho asɛm na ɛsɛ yɛka sisi adindindin paa. Owo ɛya obi anim so owo ɛya yɛaka dapɛn baako ni owo ɛya paa owo bi ɛya ɔnyɛ nkyɛn. Nti yɛnnua no mu masa ɔmo ahwere ɔmo nkwa ɔmo wu ɔmo kɔ. Nea ɔmo kɔ yɛnti ɔmo wu ya yɛdi awerɛho a yɛbɔ ɔmo din yɛbɔ ɔmo ba so ne ade no yɛyɛ ne deɛn. Ɔnyɛ nkyɛn. Because masa sɛ ahwɛ ne yie a afi bɛba betwam na ne yɛka nyinaa ne sɛ owo ɛya yɛdi awerɛho.
na galamsey no kɔ so
Ti me deɛ sisi ano ne hia me no masa ɔmo wu yɛ no bebree me namfo paa o very very close friends. Ɔnyɛ nkyɛn.
yeah
Minimum onye pa mi di areho se no bi di areho no you could say the etwa mu nipa ni esi won me kobi and so ye di areho no wo ho na ye di areho no na ye dwen ye kwan a ye fa so a ni enti a omo hwe omo nkwa so betwa ni nkasa ma semu wa na kwame ayi ye nua Elvis afi ya nkasa esi post bi a dem man say nye post kitwa o ti post no bro kura na post ni
yeah presidential envoy for interfaith and ecumenical relations
envoy no kura na envoy no normally my dream is say who could ya nem sini wo baby envoy no kura na min ti ase papa
oyama mpenya nem sini se bank tahudie ne sorry ne ade a
you be fan sir Kwame
Kwesi
ipacha o yesi se unya prophecy bia
yeah
kona ko hu papa yi na on verify ana nyasa na kan on verify na verification e be ni say o be fere yankupo bi yanka ni bi o no me catch e wa na nka no ne catch e verification e ni say
Kwesi pacho mahoni ndro
o bo mo den yire ho kwa yire ho pa na asem we bi asem ke
mehwehwe Elvis me am senior school Mary Helen
verification who said you be
na maybe son say Ghana card verification na Tom printer na say maybe son
obviously prophecy who's me ko verify the same say who friend and couple business and be also na aka share na na aka share
ebi aso na omo hwe say if it's a idea de fear and panic be ba na ntawa be ba na bi aka share salabraka ebia oni nipa no nkokasa ehun hia so de betudwa
nti say no kra wo de sa
fan tudwa because ebia na de oye ne beba
no kan no verification we ni awo kan no verification me ekumi kra ma diri ho kwa me verification say ade osi nyankopon aka asem a kire no wo ni ho no nyankopon ka kire no etu ko verify no anyabi ko frɛ nyankopon business nyankopon na ho na aka kire kwa me sepa ka say desi ana sensi
Kwesi na
ana
sana Elvis Afri is anokai so be verify prophecies no sir it was statement
me come out me ko ta ko come out hey afedi nsem bi kika mu kika nsem bi na afedi na eya ye video kwani ewe suke free fa me pe ma come out me na ko say yes asem enu yedu o say masati o say the office of the presidential envoy for interfaith and ecumenical relations has issued a significant directive urging religious leaders across the country to formally submit any prophecy of spiritual insight of national significance to its office for urgent review.
Okay, your verification review.
Na review ni verification. I then now put all the review ni verification ya
ya behwehwem.
Okay, sama madia to review na em be.
One chance is
okay, we dey imagine.
Ya behwehwem.
Review ya be ni say.
Ya behwehwem.
Wo di be na ko hwe.
Me ebia no more algorithm bi ombe.
I don't know more yes, I don't know more yes. Oh, this one your prophecy has me go review. Who go review say? I did you dream one want me to say. Na kwa me woni.
Yeah me.
Be have me no pay friend for people no me na me can be o. I no pay my kind daily graphic. Aso for no class sa review no mu ni hwe.
Mene so for penny apostle so akasa I say omo hye da ni mu bi nti omo pe clarity no mepe mreni Elvis a chance no
afei no omo ka me ni ameka ha won so mo ko Flagstaff as an Jubilee House no mo ko bi samu ye no mo nti ase
sa pepe na apostle tete
kan so for no ankasa no kra mu ni wo ko ye review no kra ni amo ye mo nti ase we su ye ni hwe me nti ase masa ya no mani bi wa tia papa also for pelu ba ku ti ba kasa no dia no kra wa ni se mi ho ma wa kra also for chairman of the board of trustees of the Full Gospel Church International Bishop Dr. Samuel Noymensa has said that Ghana's challenges require practical solutions, not prophetic declarations. Kwabi so
and let me say that X
also very bad na some more come na Kwame in fact any man be why happy mama come send in show
me too
the officer wo kuku be
yeah
dan be ti why see o sofu bi pa hwehwe mi o sofu di o be hwehwe mi woman number o sofu ko ba challenge 3 pieces papa bi hey ni shoe mi nim ade a dey polishing the shoe shine sir ni grab briefcase and also for you buy no better so for money and say I see masa when you have vision about you nana Akomea
about you
when you have vision and for 32 million people who are Ghana when you be a vision say me who vision Okonya and neti
Ghana wo
ndo so for vision be na anya osu ohu se nkopo bi di lechi
omo di wo achi
na timrika na omo botu otu no nkame Madina ho be bi nsuo kese bi da na me huruto nsuo no na dan champion nsuo and space me mpaboa ni hu asema me nka nche papa ndo na nsuo osofo pacho last time I won high fever also onya bi ache I'm so also for where the Mr. And my answer, Mary, but more dear, not fat, so one for come back. For dropping 10 to not call the nearest or to don't check for high fever. That's the okay high fever, some like I who said, then you move the minimum. None of free. Papa, sorry, you dream and then when you do drink. Now, so for who now we are high fever and I
Hey, Kwesi.
About 20 years ago,
Okay, thank you.
Or then nothing happened. Me ko hospital asema mo ka che so ko hospital da asema mo ka che no se de obi anya ni high fever no kika ni nsem a wo si ye ko bue office no o mbeka ni ye review high fever wo ye doctor masa
you see then who so many high fever
na unya high fever o de na wo se dencha minimum ya kamitia
there be say o catch on abokoko na ya bo ho mpae na denchem na nkomre
one time man bompae bia
ogobompae ma
ebi okobompae ma
tena ti ase
njade ti oba mi ho
obeka no
o patcho se
tu akuma na wo simple bia da boto mo ye man no dia ko police ni su wow sango na some can some na kumi kura ni mbi kan nti obi abeka sa ache bi se wo hu se nkofo di tuo di machi o den chemu ba ba mini ade misi ni ko review wo ye den na review sasem Fred catch me che mi kwa be fa so review sasem
senpai bona
oh
me fan to jema bompai
Elvis no ni review obe so be bompai
se nyon nko be free that pastor so other pastors
no more bompai
yeah
na Nyankopon yi kire o na Nyankopon no onim ni opeso yi kire omu no mbe convince Nyankopon so we yi kire Fred yi kire me so
no say Kwesi Bible prophecy wo mo
me can say prophecy in the Bible me in this search ni no me say
Elijah no me grofo
obi bi ni fufu odi fufu lai soup mo hu lai soup mo say wo nana kuya we tree ni nam lai soup esi asi me hu we tree won kwan mu wo hu nam che no ana odi American wa ko Elvis so say wo nana kuya mi di mi fufu pa no
me hu ni
tree wo mi kwan mu
nti no
as we review who be review say
that's all can say prophecy
when you about themselves oh this so new maybe too much I don't so new be unsa also me die me soon die me daro wa ko wi apete si bia ko so hu die boni also me die me soon die no na ko bia sante nsisi achia etimi ya de no ya hu office o ya hu office
na one kind
Kwesi jina unjindia na there no problem
you who say the be no ana who say the be
meba into patch say office no hu hia Kwesi
review ayen na review ne be ni say kwa wo na ni mu na wo sa ni o ma ya
Kwesi one kind
Kwesi na say me nya
Kwesi on time fair somewhere yeah mama no fair somewhere no
first somewhere no be chere office no say no be review prophecies
chere prophecies na e kwa na mai to
first somewhere no e wo method bi review prophecies say na mu ka chere
Kwesi aso be na ko
me na no so de wo pa
oh I see you didn't come
enkomo na nie di na me aso me ko de nya won komo enu ami komo
ebia na kumia person o review wa sorry no
and some be die so mo ko to office to review prophecies
but Kwesi say office don't review prophecy.
Reviewing prophecy.
Say na me kan no. Yenkita hundi a aban ne o mampani ahye ene sorry ebedi. Eno na ho. Even though Ebiaka say your Ministry of Chieftaincy Religious Affairs or something, but this is from the presidency. But esane ne ekoso ne amanfosi wenya enkomhye ebisi after before 3 months ago omunya sense bebre omufi se sane o mani nyina odi tudwa Kwesi state general do dem biom
The Office of the Presidential Envoy for Interfaith and Ecumenical Relations has issued a significant directive urging religious leaders across the country to formally submit any prophecy, or spiritual insight of national significance to its office for urgent review. I said, that's
a brother, Otibroso.
Now, where do you mean? Urgent, no review, and a new submission, a formal submission for urgent review.
Also, Grataba.
Sir, and only formal.
Yes, it has to maybe I do file it and all that.
And
I'll be recorded.
Yeah, so it will be on record.
Yeah. Formal. So, who Fred, I want you 3 on Hey, I said,
crazy.
And then there's why I could do.
Kwesi, my review time now me found audio be man.
Oh, me time no review possible. Na a 3 dan kwam wa.
Na ada na wo de an de bia 3 dan kwam ya.
E bi so obi ma kana mi kan.
Kwame.
Yes, Nana.
Was it your mom day? Fuel.
Yes, you be see up a few on allowance.
No prophecy no
watch rock.
And I will buy Flagstaff House. I be submitting formally for review. Now I will calculate your own nature.
I said Elvis our budget.
Obisi
the bicycle be said me. I didn't miss your chance for being a prophecy.
Obisi when
your transport to Kwan I find there. And you be a prophecy.
Na Kwesi to Flagstaff behind the mouth.
Kwesi Obisi when your prophecy. Daniel from Kwabenya says, last night it was revealed to me through powers and spirits that Kwesi Pratt will be on Kokroko this morning to cause great controversy, and it has come to pass. How far? Review be that.
I said chin one time. I don't know prophecy one quite this one. You also know prophecy can so quite this one.
Nana, Intipacho, Odian Sumema, formal and urgent review of the discussion on the table.
Mate Kwame Medasi.
Nana Medasi.
A good news, Kakra. Unya Tony Cabo.
Aba Ifa Cabo.
And any birthday.
Hey, Aba Ifa.
And I mean that prophecy be
your money trinkwa.
Your money trinkwa. Anthony Aba Ifa Cabo, happy birthday to you, baby. I will be here.
Bad news, there. Enjoy. Yera otum fonso
asante hema
ni nyaba so ya mane yako
kese pa
na yako kese pa mfema ebusuafo ye nnuano ma o mahwe o nkwa na otwetwe mu uku adan yako ne de yintimi njai da ese tembian ye kayom o mabusuafo ene NDC aban and as NDC party. I say ya and say betimi ayenema ebechichi omure na aso omasin was amre ya ababetu ye. Uhwe nipa na ehwe omonkwa na me jindi say BS say cabinet ministers mienu ahwe omonkwa.
Menye sure.
Me jindi say this is the first time and a pilot here na can come miensa ti ebin to yenda ti ama asem na ya hwehwe pa
indeed
areho no kra ne ma ano ya din kra ne kwan ya yesuro so mo fa so ehwe o mo kwan ebinum say accident no ba ye no omo be call into coma asana jano aba me bon pa ese sa this year because what is helicopter kitu ene janso eba we Pratt ne jeba be show odwen ho ya ono anodin nti saa niema bienu miensan ama areho no ayesonko omani nya obi aboto eme de say political parties in ya so yenso ya kan NDC ho a ye di areho nyane sade bia nka mepe nkai mri bi etwa mu politician bi ehwe ne kwa now the other political party omo fano serious mikai minua John Kuma yes a poison people's party yeah fata uaba now o dey disagree me they say this time parties ni ya akambo na yende yansa ato yenwanu NDC for ene o mani nya ye di arewe na o hwehwem ya ye me party no na yera Dr. Bamia di anim emoko Jubilee House
yo
eko ye eko lay flowers ko go juma bia no bodi o Jubilee House eko kan mo ho sade a chin yen so yera Bamia sign to anamoko President Muhammad Fie eko manu yako to enya no eboa ema eka yembom as oman me de say me party NPP so omode anamo atuja say election by election eba wo yenua mutala constituency
Tamale Central
yeah me party no dey atuja say areho ne kwanya mutala de hwe ni nkwa ne NDC for de hwe mutala no party no enko ye by election bia
ABC enya dem be din kuni anyway
oh no say okoye election anya nkuni din kwa na hwehwe anya nkuni din kwa na ye election neza ka NDC nka 6 ni pure ho a common contested yenso 6 ni pure ho because we dem say seat ya okwe undin kuni ndi anya nkuni din kwa Kenya party no say wo nso ka ho
okay
enti menua Fred say yen tem dodo ba me dem hwe no adwempo na etachre
okay
say omo ye runners steering committee meeting and one of the name we consider a by election because I'm sure say about say see am hwe ntotoye
yeah
no mu decide say we hu yes here beko enti so say abani ntemo ana say senke fine but me de adwempo no adwempo a me foaso pa nanka minya no sade bia kwa minya no sade bia say
happen sir
say by election as a result of war nka two political parties and all the political parties omonye BBF convention among themselves say we member of parliament out of a war ebejama out of convention the political party me hope me bump I say we no be convention among the parties na I'm seat back when you the kwagwe sa NDC city NDC enyo mo hwe anambwa more 100 and maybe yeah the way Tamale city enyo na MPP so enyo hwe enyo fa ne kwa say sika kwa ye election kwa ye posters hey try who accusations and campaign minister American will treat because here comes come here can say you try who draw and
you try draw
yeah that accusations counter accusations
say mutu to be man mo no
yeah to be man way so these are by elections especially as a result of death in parties no me no it me nya convention bi some be san ke me ke beboa ke be ma hu say obi bi papa nso afri sa oyene ya atoma no nti me bo me party na baso steering committee no say o ma take sa decision na Kwame, adeɛ baako nso a ɛsɛ yɛtumi nyɛ free saa asɛm yi ato yɛn. Sɛ ebɛtumi ayɛ nhwehwɛ mu sɛ na ɛbɛyɛ a ɛnkɔto yɛn biem. So sɛ ɛsɛ yɛtumi hwehwɛ mu yie paa na yɛhu de accident yɛ bae. Manya ne nti yɛ sɛ aban koraa nipa na ɛyɛ helicopter no Chinese company no.
Yeah.
Manya ne nti yɛ sɛ ɔmo koraa ɔmo aba Ghana sɛ ɔmo ba bɛboa ne ahwɛ ne nti a helicopter de tɔɔ fam. Ɛsɛ yɛtumi hu adeɛ potenti a ɛtɔɔ fam sɛ na ɛbɛyɛ a daakye no yɛbɛtumi ayɛ nhyehyɛeɛ a saa deɛ ɛnsi biem. Because Kwame edwuma yɛyɛ as politicians yɛtu kwan. Untimi nka sɛ wenti no president ana ministers ana wine state officials mo ntena helicopter mu. Amo betna aramba. Amo betna helicopter.
As they say the omo yembe shi omo.
But betna. Because sometimes na so koye adwuma bi wo tamale 9 a.m. na we akoye ba ko bi wo burger. Sa na omo yo omo programs. So okay, say ye nhyehyɛ bo bi aye bi adwuma bi wo burger. Onim say o ese me be adwuma yi wo tamale. Nti na yawada nti na burger for mo fa mo de no nhye yawada. Se na be a me ban potem ho a metimi aye adwuma no wo tamale no makɔ burger nso akɔ akɔyɛ biwia na bi a nipa bi nso ehia se me be adwuma bi wo wa. Nti no mo de nyia hye date 2 days bi ti okoha then no o se ka akɔyɛ be di. The helicopter ya uko no akoye wie no afly no akoye wie na chese wechima ani nya. There's no way politicians ye make say ye mfa helicopter into kwan se na adwuma nete no. Enti ye etimi hwem na ye hu ade potent ye me de say nipa na ye aeroplanes na ban atonsa from omaba a omo so omo eba beboa. So mutimi etimi hwem na ye hu ade potent na itimi de hyehyɛ to akwan mu sɛ na plane for no kwa na bɛboa aeroplane for ebia na design bibi na say so okay American company ɔmo aeroplane Boeing company ya ɔmo plane to top from Ethiopia na Kenya we but until ɔmo ground do sa type of aeroplanes no nya for be 1 year no mo check it design ɔmo hu sɛ na autopilot to do a kicking in. Sometimes we need that autopilot na kicking in. Now person reversing one. Na enti SS anhwe mu no kom ekoso. Na it me hu ade poten. E bi kwa na design fault. Na no so beboa cause me this Ghana kwa na was a helicopter bi. Other countries.
There be other countries will be.
Yeah. Enti na yenso na beboa in terms of helicopter we bi anakra na bi weather. Me this weather no be a big part pa. Because matise 2 other helicopters and so are a forced landing.
Those 2 helicopters were cleared for that day.
Yeah, but
almost so a emergency landing. Baku sign by Accra na baku de toaso.
Me sure say 2-3 helicopters e be the weather cause na say weather na nya. But anyway,
there's also a report from attributed to the KMA boss Ura Zuba. Say Abranti and the NADMO deputy director no offer Ubi. Ekachen said they had attempted twice to land, but bad weather in Omuntumi landed. And offer MCB Minister Kwesi what is our seminar? Oh yeah, offer MCB say in common per cars being see your prekona MFA or more passengers now a chopper no. On any case and Chibi and crashing by. So based on Zuba report on IKMA boss no, at this point you make I say based on our report a bad weather. But of course full report to be unbind.
Yeah. A bit me a weather, but you ain't trying a full report to know.
Yeah. But of course full
weather. A bit me assume be from say at this time maybe you enjoy helicopter the 2 coin. Because say a bisan kokosia na chese ya faili
yeah
pa yo mahwe omo kwan te no so ya de amebo mpa se betima hwe na esi ese ne be ya ebe boy ho ban na Kwesi can suffer with who say what was stress
but answer that audience beba no Anyama will say Dr. Frankie Asai don't come here Kwesi kai no Frankie Asai don't said there's a whole ministry of chieftaincy and religious affairs whose functions include formulation and implementation of policies related to chieftaincy and religious affairs. Why should another person be given part of the role of this ministry? I thought we have all called for a lean government. This special presidential envoy's role is already part of the Ministry of Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs. Or is it just a matter of job for the boys? Dr. Frankie Asari Donko will review your message very soon.
but Frankie, Minister, the prophets in Kamo. Magical aspect of
Kwesi can software assembly. Na minua Frankie Eken.
Yeah.
Mene ya dream pa.
Okay.
But na come in some name. Because Kwame, I say NPP president war office for religious affairs.
Oh, Jubilee House.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I in Fred Agbanyonom Cassetia say we job for the boys. I feel most mobile resetting. No be resetting. More lean government. I feel the office for religious affairs. And I'm almost here then envoy
interfaith and ecumenical relations. Nana, interfaith
envoy,
presidential envoy for interfaith and ecumenical affairs and ecumenical relations. Presidential envoy for interfaith and ecumenical relations. Omampenya so ya de hwe asom ne asofo nkita hudie.
It's very important.
Kwame.
Yes.
And your office for religious affairs.
Ministry of Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs. Yes.
No, your office of religion and Jubilee.
Yeah.
Enkano.
Yeah.
And I'm by Muslim baby lean government. We lean government. Baby resetting. Now office for religious affairs.
Yeah.
More than aye envoy presidential envoy.
Nana asa no ni Kwesi ayepe ho. Asa na oni Kwesi ma drink up room.
President.
Eh na sa onu sunya wo ya na nana kubia so yebi.
Eti Kwame. Meanwhile, your ministry for China Kwame, your ministry for chieftaincy and religious affairs. Chieftaincy and religious affairs.
Yeah.
And your presidential envoy for interfaith and ecumenical relations. Hey. Now, let me be sad, Kwesi, because na every free anchor na I'm so no ojisa ni mai dipa. Kwame Okai say be video bi anansi ami hu ya na kuta sword bi a no
when you way before the elections.
Yeah.
Long time.
2020. Yeah, because oji dipa.
Oji dendi.
Sa
ecumenical.
Ecumenical prophecy.
Na say nya Christian. Anything Kwame.
Yeah.
So Kaisa Elvis okuta sword bia no
make I mean side
no konoko wan ko enema yi na de ne babe so kai
na make I pa
nti em say anything kan kranti ne de sa presidential envoy no amando no na adia ba ko a nka media na nti na me nka me pa Kwesi a che won ne say pastor si ha o me ni toto wow asemba omo ha o me ni obeti ena me na me ne a president kasa ye entina wanko esenka president teko me na me ne kasa na me mama na so kwame titi answer
me tie
very insensitive Say on actually president free mu. Na te nipa na omo hwom kan do omo nya nipa. Na we obe ti asofo no bi ne kan na ye ne bia ne na me ye we nti na president free. But president free man nipa ne bi omo akem. Wo beti no bi sia and my catcher all me frɛ we bosumi miensa omo ntie me case mo mani be humi mo mani boe me humi na mo hu asema atomu and mama be humi a the beto yan kra na west come so at it is answers
Matibi baby enu nti na here interfaith and ecumenical office
Kwesi Pratt at Chelsea on the onya butrek asofo no no mo ha me ni dodo nti avisi say o dear wo a prophecy wa hu bibia yakopon amo hu bibia se bo be kan se na me kan no mantie na me hwehwe we me call office ho wantie John Kuma wuye ya TP bebe obi asem to a omunya ba na me friend no wan bia na we me call ni fie ne ya mbie gate cho sense time bia asem to ya utis answer and then dia to ye na me na mama president anko na me friend we bosome miensa me hwehwe no me nsanka no na me call the office wa mama ehunu na we me na ayebasa na mama be humi na ne ba be sinye nti am say office or the home tin no so gisan me na di so na me di kan chew enti o say okay me office hall pamacho o de oba now they be kan wasem say bia Fred Agbanyo so say no ye big man wa or ye member of parliament na say we so call Fred wa hu bibi na Fred wa tia o de be kan chere e be hwe kwan ya ye ne Fred be kasa na so akwanche du ha na yaye nti am say no ahum ti na ama Elvis Kwesi Pratt it is office one konya but Elvis what is anyway what is anyway name e di na dia ba ko
Kwesi Pratt an kasan konji sa post no
ba Elvis what am say she nti na e post no na ade ba ko so me won kakra ni wo hwa sorry asofo na na me from the established churches no say be a Methodist asofo be a Presbyterian asofo be a Catholic church Catholic penifo e wo ho
Pentecost
ti say omodomu hu prophecy yo me ti say head of the Catholic Church of Ghana and Presby moderator and Methodist Emma sa amkega sansense even the charismatic churches the established ones no pa to say Yera Duncan Williams
Otabel
Ajinasari Isudanaba Bakun Otimi
Dag
Hayward Mills me on tisa omo kenka na emom
ebi omo prophecy ebi omo prophecy ni ma omo
yeah but em nwa say Nyankopon say one man churches omo no mu prophecies no one man churches all the time omo kwa what the crime is susu na hwe
because if you na so ebia is a way of communicating
what is
action chapel ebia prophecy there ebia the way of communicating na a difference no
action chapel prophecy be no mo hu ya o mo ka kire o
okay Agbanyo can say Argentina one man church go communication until every day I hear from so also communication
so omo de jidom na men can say
omo na about social media
and as na every second omo ntie o ka dey para opedom dey house your mouth
but anya sa dey na dan pare be kon ho no
on a confess
anya we na dan pare be kon afi 31st amount for the far you move here ni ho
na say na ade ba kon so the Kwame munya mo se Nyankopon na mo kasa that na prophecies na different
say bia Nyankopon no ka French on Kwesi ka Spanish on Agbanyo ka German on me ka Greek
because nan say
obi ane ne
NPP so I'm say ba be flag bearer
utie
we a asumasi na be win the next week another prophet ya say when they be win na say I say Nyankopon ni munya na e kasa I didn't na na Fred or china Kwesi
it calls for review
It's a hard review to pay.
And a review.
It's not reconcile.
Review. Also review.
Okay, Jesus Christ of Joe.
Joe mechanic papa. Jesus Christ of Joe. Oh, by now they be on you as.
Na couple friend. Na ka also waka all be friend.
But come am tell you say Jesus a branch you na me tell you. Are the same person.
Jesus Christ of Joe the acho. Na Akomea. Oh. Ache. Na mi sakra na omi you GBC TV.
Now why need Jesus a branch?
On a different. On your
Jesus Christ of Joe. Also say wunni na musuo kam. Na udware beko helps
udware what
eliso
na Akomea refisa dey no
udware
beko helps
sebi na ni hu fi pa Kwesi guy
Jesus
I was much younger but
enu mo dey high fever
no omi you serious
high fever and if I udware there
Bisa Kwesi me kai pa
na me chese onu dey Kwesi
because the hot can pa na say
Kwesi onu dem say na high fever na che on the high fever enti ana kwame some no mo kan so
yeah
so nim kasa na friend no catch 22
yeah
it's baby a be
bia
enti o ma prophecy say be afraid agmenyo say ni ti say Kwesi Pratt dey I say then be kwa kochimi na say ambaswa also for the because
God reveals to
redeem
enti baby a be fa prophecy ni chew and I
say God moves in mysterious ways ni na be bibia ka
be friend no kwanche enti say ambamu a na che say we yan kwanche enti na ambam enti baby a be fa no omo fa mo hudi
any catch 22 no
any catch 22 abamu a say me kai wan bia ambamu so a say ye kwanche man ana bompaye man enti asofo na be sure say prophecy e wo ho say na me dey kan wo hwe bible mu kra prophecy but the way some modern day can say
say
na software be at the prophecy ne ya say sorry ni dey enti we na sorry mpanyifo enya ensese eja no ma every so free and krankwa press before all the gen what's your from saying
GPCC Ghana Pentecostal and Charismatic Council
omoni depending ya antnasi no mo hwe because say so any nya di na election say ba eno mo pie election say ba no mo pie
sata na nyame kasa
ana say disaster ba no mo pie
sata na nyame kasa say krono madwa nyankopon kasa
enti the Ghana National Council of Churches so they should be interested say so betimi ye juma bisa na say sorry anything too much
Openyibisi in an era where countries are transforming through the application of science and technology with AI leading the revolution, we are sitting here resorting to soothsaying to rescue us. Openyim Kwame Kwesi Pratt assembly be na pesa o no.
Enti Kwame me dem asem no ebewie.
Yes, no.
Asem na reho.
Oh.
Yenya yaboto. Say be eye no ifiada ebe.
Ifiada we.
Okay. Yenya but the asem dey see we going forward. I see a timi yen hwehwe ya ebe comfort to families no. Na afei it me hwehwe mu na ehu ade potentia accident by se na be bitima hwehwe ya NCBM Kwame me dase
na me dase
Friday
yeah 15th August sana man penin kai
na say prophet be the catcher and the catches you
be review
it's not review no Kwesi mistake awo here o feel say all the prophecy no buy and to one there be yes a review it's not review no share on house Review.
Only telephone line.
Even Bible, you can review policy. Every nyame you can tell say we every nyame.
Then what tell it?
Oh yeah, any prophecy that you cannot witness to, it's not of God. Prophecy is supposed to be something that you can witness in your spirit too.
And now it's
a deep issue. There's something that must tell. Yes, I am. And I said,
I didn't know who say I'm passing. I could catch him. Who better than
the Holy Spirit will more. The Holy Spirit will more. Nay, can't
now will you?
That is a son of God.
Now, more than you are about one make catch the Holy Spirit and we bear you.
Not the age, my papa. And I'm to be a bomb.
The Holy Spirit don't bear
Nana, Fred, Mamina Masiwana. May review me time no. Mr. I'll say me sorry so. In the meantime, talking about
that is it. Me did be a mega maker and I will still say it. Say baby your mind you do as a country, I will say take it and you may be serious. You take your mind serious, and as you take it be serious, you got ourselves to be blamed always. There be a BBC and say a share the echo for buy. Say yantrasi as of mine, na say yan serious. BBBA heading ABC. Na BBC we are. Ni ya eden echini ya nante echini akohwe chira kwan de esi eba ya ama eden ama sade konesi helicopter ye crash wenye baifo utie nsema papa ikan ye radio say whatever I stop ya no ready ebi kura chese helicopter no na no me ni video no ohwe hawa na esi wave ohwe hawa na esi wave a na echese bibia nkoyi na echese niema nkoyi hawa ne wave hawa ne esi ya niema na echese niema nkoyi niema enye den enkoyi niema nkoyi but upon na no enkofo bi nkra na omo ka se oh after say helicopter no obekwa ko drop omane bo amano maba no ekona say samba biwa omumfa nya adwuma bio ida so mbe pack asi ho ana say omdu be maintenance enti adene die kian kin say ye set up say ye planting no say ye deliberately say ye denyo so omo shadow ena omo ye chese odwen ho bibia ntiase o ochana na otwe pepepe o ochana Wednesday na otwe pepepe ene ya menu ka se ya wo hwemi ebia na Tuesday then time ne bia no mo to plan de obekọ then time na Ewuradwe Muhammad na ni dinkam aeroplane ho helicopter ne ho na ni dinkam helicopter ne ho so obekọ bi ase dun ka chenu na mo ka ho bi omo obekọ bi ewie akira omo ntimi anko bi. And it is so sad. Enemy who post to be an amutaka a kase, Asawasi member of parliament, MP for Asawasi. Mutaka Uchemua. I say, Manabuama, Dr. Manabuama had never preferred to what? Board a helicopter because he did not like it. Hey, Eradi, Ghana. Mutaka say, a year Manabuama. Unyampeda so beden obe use helicopter unyampeda so obe use helicopter because no ni interest wom no ni interest wom but is it then ɛna ɔkɔtena wei mu a ɔkɔ nso ɔhyɛ n'ataadeɛ white white because Jesus Christ Awurade bompae ka kyerɛ Awurade sɛ wotu kwan anaasɛ wopie afiri fie na sɛ akwanhyia bi da w'anim a Nyankopɔn ɛma wo nkɔmfa bibi nsi kwan bɔ saa mpaeɛ ne yɛntoa so. Yes, ɛyɛ sɛ wabɔ saa mpaeɛ no wobɔɔeɛ a Nyankopɔn hyira so ma wammɔ so a wohwɛ video no wie abɔ because the way nneɛma isi kɔ wiase wei mu no sometimes mega metena sɛ a medwen ho mbisa sɛ no ɛdeɛ na ɛkɔ so wɔ Ghana ɛmi sɛ Ghana na obi atɔn ɛna yɛ egum nyinaa yɛdane nkoa enti de panyina sɛbi adwene ne nyɛ adwuma akwadaa sɛbi adwene ne nyɛ adwuma mfimfina sɛbi adwene ne nyɛ adwuma adan common thing adeɛ asɛe adeɛ ehia maintenance musi yɛnyɛ yɛde kosi nipa na ba na yɛkɔba na wokɔ na mbɛ ampanyina mpampa adeɛ so kɔ ya amba kwa yarisa waba na afa no abusua serious papa mi sɛ asɛm no si ya sisi ɛkɔ ne na ɔtwe so nsɛm aka yɛhyɛ yɛn ho 2 weeks Ghana asɛm no bɛwu ewu wie a asa saa helicopter no meka kyerɛ wo sɛ nka anhyia nka yɛbɛsan use the same helicopter because according to ex-president Kufuor say saa helicopter wey emergency landing ɛwɔ mbra na odi Ghana so from 2001 to 2008 thereabout. Yewura Akufo-Addo nso kyerɛ mu a ɔbaayɛ no ɔdi n'ani gyee hwɛ helicopter wɔ si no ayɛme na me bɛtena ma helicopter wei ɛkome sɛ helicopter wei bɛkome deɛ nka Ghana sika nsa ampa ɛna ɔkɔ chata plane kakra baabi ɔda obɛtumi adwodwo ne ho nyinaa ɛti Akufo-Addo nam hɔ saa no ade bia na kɔnwa di n'akyi no ɛnyɛ kwa na ndura so meti sɛ nkɔkɔ hwane fo bi helicopter bi yɛ by force landed Ghana na sɛ helicopter no ama sɛ wotu kwan kwa akɔ aburukyire a masa yɛkɔ Atwea mountain kɔ bɔ mpaeɛ de uti kɔ nu ɔyɛ mu ansa wonya sɛbi adwemufo anwom because na ekɔ yi obiara esuru it is really sad and we are hoping say Ghana you will get back to our maintenance culture routine na sɛ nneɛma bi nkɔ yie na ɛwɔ sɛ yɛyɛ den yɛyɛ ho adwuma we must do it, we must put it together. And this our mind way. Debia e be mistake. Debia e be twa gya wadwo enye duabo. Debia be ya ade ewia ye nsa bebo eyam. Na yakam awi. Enso mo na adofo ahwere. Enso na na ya hwere adofo awie. Na ya hwere adofo na ya den ya hwere adofo na ya hwere adofo. It's sad. It's really sad. And I'm hoping say such thing no ain't happen bio. Because it's bio you got ourselves to be blamed. So why do you comment section ni me for adwin chetum. Hanom you number 1 authentic platform Bege TV. E begu so aka no kware no kopim say Ghana e besisa because of my way. You pay for no, some of them are jumboni, I share with the mama. You pay for no, some of them among pese or minor ebecoso. Make us say, Sika, DBCC helicopter will be a G depend. I'm telling you, Obia G depend. Obia sign say you could see, or Jessica Neddy one quiet, it and any payer wo we. Muja, emission film, I hope. Chiwaji, Mediana Mega, bye bye.